Good morning. It's Friday, the end of another week. We're gathered together again for our short devotional, which this morning I want to talk to you about wise people ask questions and then listen. Our focus verse is Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 5, where it says, "People's thoughts can be like a deep well, but someone with understanding can find the wisdom there." If you want to be wise, learn to ask wise questions. As we just read Proverbs 20 and verse 5, it says, "People's thoughts are like a deep well, but someone with understanding can find the wisdom there." In other words, everybody has something that they can teach you. Just like it's worth the effort to draw water from a deep well, it's worth the time, it's worth the attention to draw wisdom from another person. How do you draw wisdom out of people? You learn to ask the right questions, smart questions. As I've spoken to people all across Canada and in other countries where we've visited, I've discovered that anyone from decorated academics to the server in a restaurant, they all have one thing in common. They have things that they can teach me. And if I know the right questions to ask, I can learn something from everybody. One thing I've realized is that I never learn anything while I'm talking. If my mouth is moving, I'm not learning. You don't learn when you're talking. You learn when you're listening. So you've got to learn to listen. The late American television host Larry King once said this. He said, in an interview show, if the host is talking 50% of the time, something is terribly wrong. The host should listen the most and talk the least. A good television host, he says, sets up the question and then just listens. I've watched a lot of talk shows, a lot of interviews on talk shows over the years, and I've noticed that fewer and fewer hosts are following Larry King's advice. More often today, those shows are all about the interviewer, whose goal is to draw your attention to themselves. It's not about the guests at all. If in your life, be more like the host who has learned to listen. Be a person who believes that you can learn from anyone. You just have to be willing to ask good questions and then sit back and listen and learn. That's the mark of a wise person. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. The Mother's Day sermon will be up online on Sunday morning. We hope you'll stop by to listen to that, and then we'll be back again next week with our short devotionals on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. God bless. Let's continue to exchange prayers daily.